Hey, I want to talk about some things. Just try to make it. I'm going to try to make it quick, but I want you to think back on all the things that are going on. All these things that could have been prevented. They could be stopped. They could be. It could be. It could be done differently. It could have been handled differently. But instead, they seem to sit back and revel in these crises and just smile, clap, like during the State of the Union. Biden and Pelosi. They just smile like, people are clapping for me. Biden looked like, people are clapping for me. Yay. But they just, and then Pelosi just rubs her fists together, every little bit, all excited. During the previous 4-year administration, gas prices tumbled. Stocks were great. The market seemed fine. Income was rising for people. There were jobs unbelievably everywhere. Wars had been stopped. Peace had been begun processing. Multiple peaceful accords had been signed with the Middle East. Iran threatened to take us down, and he said, if you ever threaten the United States in that manner again, I'll wipe you off the map. And then when people look there, they'll be, what was that place? And they said peace. Previous president went in with the Taliban, talked tough to them, had dinner. They backed away from us. No one else has ever done that. Eradicated the Islamic State. The previous administration was scared to do anything. They let it go. Put a hold on Korea. Sanctions and tariffs on the dragon. Now, they just said, that just can't work. It's been too good. It just can't work. So they start with that horrible situation. It was horrible what happened. What happened with George Floyd, that was an awful event. No human being deserves to be treated in that manner. But it was used and exploited into something different, into something completely different for an agenda. Because first, no one seemed to be listening to the rules and regulations of the restrictions that were created by this virus. So that didn't work. So they made the race wars and riots. Then that didn't work. So they allowed them to riot, burn down cities and streets, caused more economic damage. They allowed it in the name of protest. That's not right. So much economic damage was done from those riots. They allowed it. None of them were wearing masks. Well, some of them were, but hardly any of them. And yet everyone else was forced to wear them. Then they implement the how do I say this? They implement the stick out your arm for me. I'll just put it that way. Stick out your arm for me. They do that, and when people don't comply, they got really, really mad and said, "You are the problem." And those that claim to be about love spread hate. Right before all this stuff began, pages of a Reader's Digest, and I'd mowed the yard multiple times, but pages of a Reader's Digest appeared in our yard, and the cover of it was there, and it was a 1961 Reader's Digest, and it was about the communists and how there will always be a crisis, another false crisis created because it brings control and expands the communist agenda and the globalist control. And it was about race relations, all the stuff that was going on. It was really amazing, honestly. I found that magazine, and I'll show it to you sometime. Right when all this was happening, I've already posted videos right when I found the magazine in May of 2020. But things balanced, and then one crisis after another was made, especially when this new administration got in. Then COVID didn't work. The did not work. And, we started seeing people get better, thank goodness, it seemed. Of course, the numbers they claimed were still going. They're trying to say, they tried to hang on, say it was going. But they just dropped it. Then they told everyone you can stop wearing masks today. And that was on the day, that was several weeks ago. And then on 2/22/22, Russia attacks Ukraine. And now they started complaining about the truckers, They said, it's going to create a supply chain issue. And now, honestly, I've seen the stores filled again. We just now got our stores full again. Starting to be full again. And now some of them are lacking items again. Now they said the Ukrainian crisis is going to create new strains on global supply chains. They like this stuff. They love it. People just can't see. It's one manufactured crisis after another, and the people's lives are caught in the crosshairs. Now they're going to have us all focusing on Ukraine and Russia. They want us to, instead of focusing on what they're doing, they want us to focus on another distraction. And then this feeds perfectly. We had energy independence here, but they said we don't need oil and gasoline. We need electric vehicles, electric cars, which guess what's going to happen there? You're going to have a lot of wasted batteries. You're going to have a lot of wasted nuclear materials. They're saying this has created new momentum in Congress for a climate bill. Bill Clinton announces relaunch of global initiative amid war. That Ukraine and Russian war affected our gas prices, and no country will help them because they're afraid to get involved and because of some paperwork. They took the article down apparently, but they were saying the other day, just days ago, since oil and gas prices are surging, this means we're going to move towards solar panels and toward clean energy. They're making this into a political movement, exploiting people's lives, and one crisis did not work for control, so another one's got to work for control. They said on the World Economic Forum, and that guy ahead of it that talks like this right here, like a Russian guy like this, he talks more like German. He said, what we need to do is act now. He said we need to act now and implement the 2030 program. Alright, just some thoughts. One event didn't work for control, so they use another. Signing out. Much love.